mainly is what was the game of the week for last week for week 2? What was your
Uh,
guys' favorite game?
Outside of the Utah game was stress. Outside of the, I didn't want. I was too stressed to watch it what was going on. But I think after the Utah game ended, it's got to be the Texas Alabama game.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
that one. That's the one I was gonna say.
Yeah, like
Texas, Alabama. Yeah,
yeah, we don't know if Texas is back or not. So, but with Texas beating Alabama at their place, that means they could be a playoff team. Who knows as the season goes along. So
oh yeah, no for sure. I think yeah, Texas Alabama definitely game of the week. Texas they looked really good playing Alabama, and granted, and like they're at Alabama too, so I think it shows that they are a good team. The question is, yeah, are they back? Right? 'Cause it's like we beat Alabama. I mean, they're like the standard for it's like Alabama is
hmm
they're just always good. So and they always have 5-star recruits. Someone gets injured, just throw them in, right? So
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
that was a fun game. Yeah, 34-24 on that. So but yeah, I mean, then the other thing is too, is just like Alabama could just go like 11-1. Like, do you guys think Alabama could go 11-1?
not
I haven't
this
checked.
year.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think they're gonna go that far this year. I don't know. I just think it's to be honest. I think Nick Saban. Even though he's a really good coach, I think the, one of these teams this year, his team this year isn't as good as they were in the past. Like the team this year, from what I saw against Texas and the other game that I saw against, I can't remember the other game that they started with. Um, but they're just not who they used to be. I mean, Georgia's like the new top dog, if that makes sense, in the SEC. So it's I think it yeah, Alabama's just not who they used to be. They're good, but they're just not who they
yeah,
used to
and
be.
going off what Stan said, just like, of course, it's going to be tough because you lost the number one overall draft pick in Bryce Young, and and he was like basically their team, their offense last year. Like Alabama's, there's some good players in their offense, but I just noticed that at Texas, they just had, from what I saw in the game, they just had a really good defense and they made plays, and then Texas capitalized on those plays, and then and yeah, I'm impressed with Texas did going on because Alabama, that's a tough stadium to play in. The SEC is always tough. Like, of course, we Utah. I didn't go to the swamp last year, but yeah, SEC is always a tough place to win.
Oh yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. So I think last time I think Alabama lost at home. Was it like 2003 is I think what they said. So it's insane. And then they've
hmm
been like
I
Yeah,
think it said
that's
like
really
Nick
insane.
Saban, like the first time he's lost at home as a head coach in
as a
2003. I think that's what I
yeah,
saw. Might have been like that.
it's insane. And then like yeah, they're like 52-2 or something like that at home. Like or something crazy. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. So but yeah, any other games that stuck out for you? I mean, besides we can talk about Utah if you guys want to jump into
Uh,
Utah right now.
I think we can do a little bit of Pac-12 recently. Like I know Utah struggled a little bit at Baylor, but like Oregon, they had trouble with Texas Tech over the weekend in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Man,
Mm,
yeah, I watched a little bit of that one. That like, of course, since Utah's joined the Big 12, that's going to be a tough place we're going to play in the future. So that's going to be a little bit of preview there. But Oregon, they were able to grind it out and get the win, and so yeah, with Bo Nix there. So
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I think Oregon's going to be good. They seem pretty balanced overall. Their defense was able to get after Texas Tech's quarterback. Um, and like, yeah, for me, like, I'm just excited for when Colorado finally goes to Oregon. Like, they're going to go to
yeah,
yeah.
Austin Stadium, and
the craziest thing is that yeah, and Colorado, their game after that was their schedule. They play USC the next
yeah, no, yeah, it's like us.
week.
We play
Yeah,
USC and then we play Oregon. But
that'll be
Yeah,
I don't have any say in who I want for that game. I mean, I did previously. I said I wanted. I think I said I wanted a Colorado or USC. I can't remember who I said last time, but I yeah that
I
I
might
mean
be cheering
they're
for
both kind of
USC.
this.
They
Yeah,
both lose,
like
but
even though yeah.
Just because I'm
I
so
mean, I
sick of
just
hearing
can't.
from Colorado. I'm so sick of Colorado right now. Like, it's like, yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
great, but it's like, okay, you guys gotta prove it. So it's like, yeah, they'll prove it when they, if they do, but they're gonna have to go to Oregon and play in Oregon. And then once they play in Oregon, they're gonna be then going, then they're gonna be playing USC. And I don't know if you guys have been watching USC at all, but USC looks so
Yeah.
good. Like they made
Oh,
Stanford
yeah.
look like a bunch of like fifth graders. Like
Yeah.
USC looks good.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
crazy thing, and then I know in October we have to go to the Coliseum to play them. I know last time Utah was in the Coliseum, Utah got the win, but that
Mm.
when they had Drake London, all that stuff, but that was before Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, and all they brought all those guys in. Yeah, if I look at the ESPN, like that's our like the really toughest game left on Utah's schedule is the USC game. It's not Colorado, it's not Oregon, it's not Washington. It's the USC game where we could be like almost a double-digit underdog. But we'll see. We have a lot of games to play before that game in October, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really, I just want to, there's a player that I really loved watching for Utah though. Mikey Matthews. He really impressed me. Even though we only won by, a score on Saturday against Baylor, even though it was very sloppy, I really love our new freshman wide receiver, Mikey Matthews. He just has that quickness to him, kind of like Britton Covey. They keep comparing him to Britton Covey, but I just like how he catches the ball and goes up for it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think I think for me, like I'm probably gonna be cheering. So at least for Colorado, like let's just talk about Colorado. I think I might be cheering against Colorado every game, even when they play USC and Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Just because I just
Yeah.
want to like destroy Colorado right now. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe they finally become our rival in that sense. But it's like, no, once we join the Big 12, like BYU is going to be our rival, like obviously.
Yeah, like I know some people like try to make it the Colorado rivalry, but deep down inside, like BYU is always going to be Utah's biggest rival. Even if they're not in the same conference, they're always going to be like this is basically the Ohio State, Michigan, and Utah.
Oh yeah.
I think we got another guy in here, Brady Burdick.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey man, thanks
Hi.
for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Nice and hot down in Arizona.
Yes, it is. It's a little cooler, but you're still holding steady around 100. So,
All right.
Nice.
And what's your game of the week for last week, week 2?
I think we talked about it a little bit Monday, like the Texas and Bama game for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We
sure.
lost some bets on that one for sure. So,
Yeah.
me and my son both had picked Bama, and I'm just surprised that Texas looked that good and they were able to go in and win on the road for sure.
A lot of my family picked, well, because my family, well, not my family, but me and my dad specifically, we watch a lot of football, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Alabama's gonna win this, no problem, right?" I picked Texas last week, actually on our first meeting. I picked Texas, and everyone's like, "Oh, Alabama," like, and I'm surprised. I'm glad Texas beat Alabama. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of Alabama, even
Well, I
though
mean, you called it. You called it last week. You were being like, because Porgy and I were like, "Oh, Alabama." And last week you're like, "No, Texas is gonna win it." So way to call it there, Stan. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
So.
I called Miami. I was very happy about that. You guys are both saying Texas A&M. It's like, hey, Miami is probably gonna win that. So I was happy for Miami there. Texas A&M, we'll see. What's their Texas A&M coach? It's got what's his name?
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo Fisher. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess his contract's crazy. Like, may have to keep him around forever or pay him like 70 million or something like that if he leaves.
Yeah, I saw he was mentioned on the hot seat a bunch of times, and then I also noticed that the contract keep him there on the hot seat regardless, because they aren't gonna go out and spend on another coach with that contract. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
Mm.
Another game for me that stood out is Wisconsin and Washington State. I did not think Washington State was going to win that. So that
Yeah, and the
was
crazy thing is like Washington State actually beat Wisconsin last year in Wisconsin, and now they got them in.
Wait, Wisconsin. Someone told me Wisconsin won that game. So did
No,
Washington State?
Washington State won that game last year.
Oh, they did.
They went to Wisconsin and beat them.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
This year
Okay.
22-31 Washington State. So Washington State's
okay.
looking pretty good. So as well, I mean, granted, it's out of
Nice.
Washington State, which helps, but
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
makes this whole conference realignment stuff so sad. Because Washington State and Oregon State, those are those two teams where they're really good teams, and they don't deserve to be left out. I think they should be in the P5 conference. Like, yeah,
for
like
sure.
the thing with the Pac-12 is like, yeah, I like all the teams. Yes, I like playing all these teams, but like leadership messed it up. Going back to Larry Scott, that's what all makes it like sad. Like all these Pac-12 teams are doing well, and then we get reminded of this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, no, Pac-12 is doing so well this year. It's awesome. I am so excited for our conference play. Like, it's going to be a madhouse. I mean, granted, and that's the problem is that I mean, USC looks amazing. Oregon looks great. Oregon State, I think Oregon State's offensive line is incredible. Washington State
Mhm.
looks good. Colorado is good. Utah, I mean, we're looking pretty great. Even Arizona and
yeah,
and
UCLA
Cal,
doesn't look that bad. UCLA doesn't even look that bad either.
yeah, as well. Even though they have a new quarterback, yeah, I mean,
Dante Moore looks legit. I mean, he's probably not on the level that Caleb Williams is, but from the 2 games I've watched this true freshman play, he's looked pretty good. He doesn't. He's not. I mean, they really haven't played that many tough teams. I guess. I mean, neither. I mean, neither has a lot of these other teams, but it's just it just seems like Dante Moore's pretty good. So
Yeah, and if I look correctly, I think UCLA is playing some FCS school this week, but their next toughest game is Utah's their first toughest test of the year.
yeah,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even Cal. So Cal barely lost to Auburn, which is surprising. Arizona State did okay against Oklahoma State. I don't think Arizona State's that great this year. And then considering they barely got past SUU, and it's like, come on, guys, that's SUU. And then who's the other? Arizona, right? They went into overtime with Mississippi State. So I think Arizona is also going to be pretty good. Like the Pac-12, I feel like we're just stacked this year. It is sad that our conference just got is disappearing, just disintegrating. It's really sad. And yeah, I feel bad really for Oregon State and Washington State because Oregon State was on the up and up. Oregon State, they went I think 10-2 last year, got a new stadium, and then they just get left behind. And it's just in reality, you can almost tie this you can tie it back to Texas Longhorns and Oklahoma Sooners leaving to the SEC because then that gave the green light for USC and UCLA to go. And then obviously Oregon and Washington went, then Colorado went back to the Big 12, and then it's just I guess we're going to the Big 12. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was just telling some people I know that no matter who wins the Pac-12 this year in Las Vegas, it could be any one of these teams the 2 teams could win the Pac-12. Any one of these teams, no matter who wins the Pac-12, you do not I get a feeling that the commissioner and the leadership will be booed when the trophy is presented. It's not.
Oh yeah.
As they should be.
They're gonna. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, even because you have all these. It's an historical conference. I know it's an historical conference. Look at all the great NFL players that came from Reggie Bush, Troy Polamalu, Marcus Mariota, even Richard Sherman, some famous NFL names came from the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned Oklahoma and Texas kind of starting the train of everyone leaving. I think it really started with the networks, right? That was the downfall of the Pac-12. I've been a DirecTV customer for well over 20 years and have been for the NFL ticket. And the fact you couldn't get the Pac-12 network or watch U games, I used to have to go out to the bars down here to find them. Like that's frustrating, but
Real
you
quick,
know, the network sucked,
I just wanted to
all of
know
it.
what part of Arizona you're from.
I'm in Phoenix.
Nice. Okay. Because I grew up
Yep.
in Tempe, so that's why I was like, okay, well, yeah, yeah. But
Yep.
nice.
So I grew up in Salt Lake and I moved down here my senior year of high school.
Mhm.
But I still come home. I try to come home for like 2 home games a year, and then I catch the Arizona game, you know, depending in Tucson or Tempe every
Are you coming
year.
up for any of
So
the home games we have this year?
I am. My wife unfortunately is a Sun Devil, so we'll be coming up for the Sun Devils.
Oh, oh,
So that'll be a nice easy win for us, hopefully, and
yeah.
she can cry all the way back to Arizona. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy
Wow.
thing, like, yeah, heads up, my mom, she's a Weber State grad. She'll be at the game Saturday. Like she reps her Weber State gear, but when they're not playing, she reps Utah gear when she comes to the games. But yeah, I'll get with
Nice.
her. She'll be repping Weber State, but but she still reps Utah. So
No, for
I got a
sure.
soft spot for all the Utah teams except for one.
Yep,
So
agreed.
Yeah, I mean, same with I think everyone knows the one we're talking about. So
mm,
I gotta mention names, but
okay.
yeah.
All right, guys. But so week 3. Let's see. Well, no, we can talk about Baylor. Let's talk about Utah Baylor real quick. I don't know. What do you guys' takeaways for Utah Baylor?
Uh, like first off, I think Utah's defense is getting back to what it was like with 2 years ago. I think Utah's defense the first 2 games is looking good. I'll start off the positive first because we held them to 13 points, 3 points in the second half. But then at the same time, just the offense just struggled. I understand no Cam Rising, no Brandon Keithy, and unfortunately, with the recent news of Mekhi Bernard, which is very unfortunate, and it's just really struggled. And then just they came back, they started playing well in the fourth quarter, but it's just one of those times where the offense got to play good like right from the opening kickoff. It's just like one of those things where offense took a while to wake up. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think that yeah, I kind of wish we played more better on offense. I like how we ran the ball, but I don't like the fact that we didn't throw it as much as we should have. Especially especially with I mean, we had Bryson Barnes in there, but I just the play calling was just atrocious by Ludwig. If we would have taken Bryson Barnes out maybe the second quarter and put Nate Johnson in there, we probably would have won by more. If it you know it just seemed like Nate Johnson was the spark of the offense. But anytime he'd come in, we'd take him out for a play, and then Bryson Barnes would come in. So it's just like I'm glad that we're moving forward with Nate, but at the same time, we need to see more of the slant routes that we used to see. We need to see more vertical routes for our receivers to run, throw it downfield, instead of this. I get we're a running team, we're a running team first, but at the same time, if we really want to beat those big those big teams like the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Penn States, all the we really need to stretch the field more and throw to our receivers more.
Oh yeah, agreed. Are you ready? What are you ready? What's your takeaway?
so I don't know. I mean, knowing that they got beat the week before and knowing that that's a horrible place to play. I don't know how many games you've watched down there. The rivalry games. We're probably lucky it wasn't at night. Everyone kept talking about the heat, and I think it was hot and it's nasty down there. But like, we're lucky that stadium wasn't full and it wasn't a blackout because I think it would have been a lot worse. That's going to be fun playing down there. By the way, in the coming years, I think that's going to be a good little rivalry there with them. But that was painful. But I don't know what I look at the group and I see how many people were so upset and complaining during the game, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, what did you expect? You're basically running a third string quarterback out there. You don't have Brant Keithy. You've got the Mikey Matthews kid who's an unknown that's out there. So, I mean, the deck was stacked against them, but heck, they came out of there with a win. They pulled it off. Like, I think this is a major win going into the season
Mhm.
2-0, knowing that you rested your best players to keep them healthy. Like, I'm totally happy about the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, considering we have our two, technically third and fourth string quarterback, because like I think Brandon Rose was our second string, and
Yep.
then Bryson Barnes, then Nate Johnson. Now Nate Johnson gets third string, but now first string because Cam's out. I mean, Cam's out and Brandon's out. So, but I'm hoping Cam comes back. But at the same time, it's just like hey, we're 2-0. You go play Weber, and we should destroy Weber. That shouldn't
Mhm.
even be a game, like in reality. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, and it's just like I can't ask for anything because hopefully our players get healed up.
Speaking of Weber,
Yeah.
speaking of Weber, I did see a poll out on Instagram of someone asking, should we still schedule Weber in our non-con games for the next couple years? And a lot of there was debate going around whether it was like 50% said yes, a lot of other people said no. I really think we need a tune-up game like this on our schedule, especially if we're gonna, stay healthy and get our players back. Just to see, there's a lot of people that keep saying that they don't want Weber State that on the schedule anymore, you know. But I think that we need to continue to have these like Idaho State, the Weber State, at least one tune-up game on the schedule each year to really see where we're at with the team. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that
it's good for Weber, right? Because it helps them, gets them a little exposure playing us. But man, I'd rather it be Utah State. I'm an old school guy, like I missed that game, so I would rather it be the Aggies. But
Mhm.
either way, if it goes to an in-state school, that's cool either way.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I did some research that we haven't played Utah and Utah State haven't played each other since 2015. So in the Pac-12 era, Utah's only played Utah State 3 times. And like in the Mountain West and WAC days, it was every year, but now it's like they're scheduling. Oh, I want to go schedule this, and then of course we don't want to get the like team down south fans are like they keep complaining how we're scheduling a home Michigan, a home Florida, how they should be playing us. It's like yeah, we want to go play these other big teams first, and like welcome to our stadium. We go to their stadium, but and then who knows? Watch a schedule like Ohio State, home with Ohio State in the future. That'll be crazy.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just grateful we beat Florida. That's all I'm saying. Just even from last year,
Yeah.
I was just so upset
Yeah.
we lost that game last year. So glad we
Yeah.
beat them this year. But yeah, alrighty. So I guess what do you guys want to see from Utah against Weber State? What do you guys I don't know, what are you hoping for?
I think I just want to see like the offense like play offense score more points. Yeah, like the first 2 games 24, second game 20, but I'm expecting like try to score near the 40s. I want us to see a score points in the 40s. If we score anywhere in the 40s, then I'll feel a little bit confident going into conference play because I think the defense like I'm confident in the defense and at the same time I just want to see more of the depth on the team. Like if we have a big lead, I want to like see more of the new guys because like we have a lot of good guys on the bench. Like I want to see if they get some playing time in case we might need them in the future. So maybe have the offense score more points than the previous 2 games and also get some exposure for the young guys.
Yeah, I think that I would love to see us do a 2 running back set um on offense. If we had 2 running backs in the backfield, um one running up the middle, the you have 2 options there. If you had Jaquindon or Jalen Glover, you can just hand the ball off to one of them, and then if another one wants to, I want to see more of the play action, if that makes sense. Play action. I mean, I don't know if any of them can throw the ball, but I mean, just kind of like we saw against Florida. We Vele threw the ball he tried to get the ball to Bernard, but yeah, just more plays like that. I feel like it gives us more opportunity to score. So if we did more like that, then I think we could score more points. And yeah. So that's what I gotta say.
I like the theme of the running backs here. I am a fan of Jaquindon Jackson, but I'm more of a fan of Utah football having a nice stable of backs. And I am still kind of wondering why Glover hasn't gotten a bigger push than what he's gotten for as long as he's been there now. So I would like to see the Glover show, just so we can see what he's got. And there is another back. I'm trying to look at the depth chart right now and I can't find it. Go figure. But there is another freshman back out of Florida with Bernard going down. I'm thinking, who's the stable? I know Curry's there, but there is this
Mike
other kid
Mitchell.
from Florida, Mike Mitchell. There you go. Thank
Yep.
you.
So believe it or not, me and Mike, we keep in touch. I talk to him a lot. He's actually, I guess he's redshirting. That's what I heard. I mean, from him at least. He's not playing. He's not going to play this year, I guess. But John Randall, though, the other running back that we got last year in last year's class, apparently he's been on the scout team, and he's looked pretty good. So if one of the other running backs like John Randall could, he looks really fast, and if maybe we'll see him on Saturday, maybe. But
And not to mention Dijon Stanley from California, who had a really good
Oh.
track time. He's really good track time. He's sort of like some guys say he's another version of Mekhi Bernard, like from California. He's a fast running back. He's not a big running back, but he's a fast, skinny running back. What I've seen his high school highlights, he looked pretty good. Like he had offers from USC and Oregon, so he's pretty legit. So
yeah,
So I guess that's what I would like to see is more of these young guys in the stable start to turn this into more of a stable, because I look at Jackson and he had a great game against Baylor, but he was taking a beating out there too. They need more guys to get beat on in the middle in the trenches.
yeah. Jackson's more of that power back. That he's not like the fastest runner. He is fast, but he's not like the most fastest. Like when Bernard was out there, he's not the most fastest when it comes to downhill speed. We need one of those home run hitters that can just hit the hole really well. And I mean, we have that in Jalen Glover, but I just feel like if we need to get Glover more carries on with the ball. So, if we get Glover more carries, split it between him and Jaquindon, and maybe the other running back, John Randall Jr., or whoever the third string may be, then I think we could just run it down people's throats.
Yep.
I mean,
This is a good game to go find that guy though, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that would be best case. You win, obviously win by a bunch, and don't get anybody hurt and find a running back.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Cam's going to start at all or get some reps? You think they're going to sit
like
him?
if he does play, like I hear on the radio, he might be in there for like a few series in the first half and go to Nate Johnson, a few series Nate Johnson, but like I hope he kind of does play just so he can knock the rust off before conference play starts. That's what I'm hoping. Just knock a little bit of the rust off, then because he's practicing. He's not like he's in pads. He's practicing, but he's not. But he just needs some game rust because he hasn't played since that Rose Bowl against Penn State. So
For sure. Is he
Yeah.
cleared? You know if he's cleared or not?
I haven't heard anything with the medical staff. They haven't really cleared him yet. I mean, at least in the press conferences that Whittingham's had, he said that he's cleared to play like in practices as a full go practice, but he hasn't had the okay from the medical staff yet to be like, okay, well he can play in games now. Yeah, I haven't heard anything from. I'm hoping that he might start early next week against UCLA. But yeah, I don't know. Just day by day, I guess. So
Yeah. For me, I'm hoping that we can obviously run game would be great to have. Definitely make sure we get our running backs in now that we're missing Bernard. And then I really hope that we can start getting a little bit more down the field, some deeper throws, because like this is how I feel like with Washington. Like Washington, that's how they're winning. It's just the deep ball. Like
mhm.
as long as our
Yeah.
defense can cover their Penix is throwing the deep ball, I think we should be able to win that game because our defense usually
Yeah.
stops the run pretty well. And then if we can cover the deep ball, yeah, they might be getting those 10-yard passes, but I don't think they're going to be getting them every time.
I mean, if you think about it, over the years of success that Utah's had, the receivers that we've had, and all the receiver coaches that have been like Chad Bumpus and the other coach that was there before him at Utah, when they were there, like it just seemed like they all just kept saying, "Oh, it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach." It's not really the coach. It's just you. There's not very much production. We haven't seen very much production out of the receiver,
Yeah.
the receiver
We
room.
are under 1 minute, just letting you know. So I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Send you a link again. So, but no, keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, I was just saying, like, yeah, the receiver room